Hey guys, I'm Real Guardian Gamer with 6 beginner tips to help you with Albion Online. Number 1. Join a guild early on. This is probably going to help you out a lot with early progression because your guild is probably going to have some more experienced members that can help you out, and I'm sure they're more than likely will answer any questions you have and help you on with the early game. It also gives you a main city to be based out of. So each bank is different. Is different than other MMOs. Each bank in each city is individual. So if I go and play something in a bank in one city and then go to another city, it's not gonna be in that bank because it's not global. It's individual. So if you're gonna join a guild later on in your game and your experiences, then you're gonna have to transfer all that stuff, the items that you have in the bank that you started at, all the way to the bank that your guild city is at, right? So if you join a guild early on, you will save all that money and all that time transferring that stuff because your stuff will already be in that bank because you didn't really have anything when you first started at that city, right? So guilds also give you a lot of protection, and it's easy group finding. And by protection, I mean in yellow zones, red zones, and black zones, when you're just trying to gather, or you're just trying to walk around, experience, or you're trying to craft. Those are PvP zones, so your guild can come with you and they can protect you, and I'm sure they will more than likely will come with you because they have nothing else to do. So they will come with you, they'll protect you. It's protection for yourself in the PvP zones. But it's also easy group finding. So if you want to go do the PvE dungeons, or you do want to go do PvP out in those zones, your group can come with you, and you already know who they are because you've probably been in their guild. So if you join them early on, when you get to the dungeon tiers and the PvP tiers, you can go do that, and you'll have people that you know that will, I'm sure, more than likely will probably come with you because they want to do that stuff too, right? So it is also, like I just kind of mentioned on it, PvP, guild was guild. Later on in your experiences, you get to your higher tiers. Your guild, if you join them early on, they'll know who you are, they'll trust you more, and that way you can do PvP with them. You could do guild versus guild with them, and they'll know who you are, they'll trust you, they'll want you to be with them. And then they also have guild buildings, and this is very important because other buildings that are run by players in the cities, they have high taxes. Like, you could be paying 50 silver or 70 silver just to craft stuff, and that's kind of high. So if you're in a guild, it'll help you a lot early on too, because your guild will have low taxes on their buildings. If you want to craft stuff, it costs less silver because your guild will have a lower tax, and that's one thing that the guilds help you with, right? So number 2, save early materials. Everything you gather, save it. Even if it's extra stuff, you don't need it, save it, because it's gonna help you on a lot with higher tier crafting. Because it's like a chain. You need to get to the higher stuff, but you need the lower stuff. So if I want to make chestnut planks, I need some birch planks, which are tier 2 planks, and I need the tier 3 wood. So I need tier 2 stuff to make a tier 3 thing. So save your early on materials. It's gonna save you money, and it's gonna build things faster later on. Because when you're looking to build tier 4 things, if you have all the tier 2, tier 3 things already, it's gonna be easier to build that thing because you're just gonna have to use the resources that you put in your bank. So save everything. It'll also make you money because people are lazy and they want to buy things. They don't want to have to go grind to go get it, right? So on the marketplaces, most of them are overpriced. The tier 2 stuff, if you stack them up and you sell them on the marketplace, it'll get you a lot of money later on because people don't want to go find it, and you always near the lowest stuff to get to the higher stuff. So they're just gonna buy it off the marketplace. So it'll make you money if you save all your materials, everything you do. And this brings me into kind of point 3. Look at your skill tree. Like, this is the first thing you should do when you get in the game. Look at your skill tree. Look at all the armor pieces, look at all the weapons, and see what kind of spells you want, because each armor piece, each weapon piece, it has different spells, and depending on where you want to go, you need to look at everything. So if you want to be a range, for example, or if you want to be a range like a mage, for example, you can be a mage, but you can have play at all the armor, all the different types of armor, even if it's not in your class, because you can make it whatever you want to be. So look at all the weapons, look at all the armor, see what kind of spells you want. It also lets you focus on what to craft and gather. So for example, if you want to be a mage, you're probably going to want to focus on gathering wood and leveling that up, crafting wood planks and stuff like that to level that up. That way you can craft your own stuff later on. Again, this stuff, like the staffs, are ridiculously expensive on the marketplace, right? It cost me, I think it was like 10,000 silver to get a staff that I have from my holy healer, right? It cost 10,000 silver or something like crazy like that, when really all I needed was like 10 chestnut planks and a few neat cloth, right? Or something like that. It was crazy. I could have crafted it myself if I just put a little more grinding in, and instead of going to the marketplace and buying it for that much silver. It'll also, if you know where you want to go and you can craft your things, like if you want to craft a staff, if you know that you're going to become a mage, go ahead and just grind it out a little bit so you can craft your own stuff, as well as sell that stuff on the marketplace to gain a lot of money. Also, don't use learning points on early on things. So learning points are basically once you level about half of your skill up, right? You can use a few learning points, so you automatically learn that skill, right? Don't do that for early things. For the first few tiers of stuff, that stuff is easy to get if you just grind a little bit. Save that for later game, because later game, getting in those higher tiers takes a lot of grinding. So if you just save that the learning points for later tiers, and I promise you it'll help you. Now, number 4, don't buy things on the marketplace, right? Some things are, yes, you can buy in the marketplace, but for majority, try and craft it. Don't buy it. People overprice for your convenience. They know you don't want to go grind to get that stuff, so they're gonna go grind themselves, and they're gonna overprice it. So don't buy things on the marketplace. Go ahead and grind yourself and craft it. Have things are craftable with little grinding anyway. Most of the things that you have, you can grind a little bit, like I just said, to craft them, and it's really not that hard. Higher tiers use this to make money, right? So they're gonna go get different artifact ores, different uncommon ores, sell that on the marketplace, just because they have the ability to mine that, and a lot of people don't. So if you grind and don't buy anything, you'll get to that place soon enough, and that'll help you on later game getting money, crafting your own stuff. It'll just be so much easier in later game, I'm telling you. Now, number 5, use your map. If you look at the top right of your map when you click on a zone, it will show you what materials are in that zone, and it tells you what tier of materials there are. So if I'm looking for wood that's tier 3, I can see that in that zone has it. But if I'm looking for ore that's tier 4, I can see if it's not in that zone, so I don't waste my time running around the zone looking for it, right? So using your map tells you what materials and tiers are in there, but it also tells you the percentage of enchanted materials. Enchanted materials is important because unless you get those points, right? So it gets like, instead of tier 4, you get tier 4.3, right? So it'll kind of increase your level before you get to the next tier. So that's important. It tells you percentage of enchanted materials. It also tells you what color zone you're in and if there are hostile players in your zone. So the zoning goes like this. Blue is no PvP. You can't fight each other, right? Yellow is PvP, but you lose items. Red is PvP, but you lose items. And black is full PvP item loss. So you lose everything with black. And red, you can lose everything, or you can just lose a few things. Yellow, you're not gonna lose anything. It's just basically you're gonna get knocked out, and after a few seconds you can just get back up. You're not gonna lose anything. You just might get some durability hurt, right? So the map tells you that. It tells you what zone you're in, and if you're in the yellow zone, it tells you if there are any hostile players there, because you have to flag yourself for red and yellow zones to be PvP. So look at your map. It'll help you a lot. And just number 6, ask for help. The community is very non-toxic, right? They're so nice. Like, I've never seen anyone get yelled at or insulted on the general chat. So you can ask the most dumbest questions. Like the other day, I asked what hit points was just to see the reaction. People told me it was HP. Like, it's like they're very non-toxic. They'll help you with anything, and there usually is never a question that goes unanswered in the game. I've never seen a question go unanswered or been insulted at. So no question is a dumb question, I should say. And lastly, the game's official release date is July 17th. And if you're watching this before then, I encourage you to get the game now, because it gives you about a month to just go ahead and do what you want, like see what you want to be when the game actually comes out, and unless you kind of like know what you're doing before the official reset and the launch of the game. But anyway, that was my 6 tips. If you like, please, if you like the video, please subscribe. Please leave a comment. But have fun, take your time with the game, and thank you for watching.